When I'm not checking for passes and making sure kids in class, I'm always watching BTV Channel 3.
Good morning, Beaverton High School. I'm Nick Lewis.
And I'm Riley Moore. Do you remember that movie, High School Musical?
That awful one? Of course. How could anyone forget?
Well, the geniuses in our drama department turned that terrible movie into an amazing play.
I would have to agree with you, because this play, Corbin, blew my mind.
Eh?
Well, either way, I was going to do any of the shows because I always do. But High School Musical is High School Musical, and so I was really excited because it's literally my childhood. And I was going to direct their show that we put on, and it was just a bonus that I got to do this one. And I just really like being in charge and like being like the overlord of what happens. Well, for the fact that it is High School Musical makes me really happy. High School Musical, and then I don't know, I just really like seeing like when people are like having fun, even though when it's like not focusing, but like still it's really fun. And then it's really my favorite is just like to see my like work and like the dances just come together, and it's just really fun. I don't know which one I would be. Like, I personally would love to be Jarvis or Gabriella, just because Jarvis is just fun. But I feel like, according to my character, I'm more like Kelsey in the fact that she's klutzy, because that's me all the time. I think just to be able to like kind of commit to just like do something that like takes a lot of teamwork and stuff, and also just like having the energy and like kind of mindset, because I mean if you're gonna be there and just kind of be like all like sad and like depressed the whole time, it's just like you won't be able to enjoy yourself as much. So just like being open to new things is kind of a good thing, because then you get to meet all these new people and do all this like new fun stuff. Trying to get everyone to focus, because I mean we're working a lot. We just started everyday rehearsal. We're here after school. We're here on Saturdays, and sometimes everyone's just like out of it or like tired, and so then they'll just like kind of stop like being super focused, and like I have to deal with them, and they're like actually children, and so like I feel like a mom in that sense. So that's really hard. So I'm like, shoot, everyone just like do what I tell you. But yeah, so it's really hard just to like get everyone to focus at some points.
What happens when you put a diamond at an extremely high elevation?
I don't know, Nick. What?
Well, recent scientific development indicates that it turns into a great band.
That's awesome. Here's an interview with Beaverton's favorite band, Diamond Heights.
Hi, my name is Evan, and I'm the lead vocalizer for Diamond Heights.
Hello, my name is Daniel, and I'm the lead guitarist.
My name is Shiloh, and I'm the bassist.
My name's Caleb, and I'm the drummer.
My name is Liam, and I'm the multi-instrumentalist.
A long, long time ago, in sophomore year, that was 2012, we had started our band, and we were trying to think of names, and we spent like a week trying to think of band names, and we came up with some cool stuff, but none of it really stuck, per se. And then one day, I was just chilling in my room, and I have this map of San Francisco on my wall, and it's like, it has all of the neighborhoods and districts and stuff, and the smallest district that I saw was the Diamond Heights neighborhood. And I was like, hey, Diamond Heights, that name doesn't sound awful. And so I was like, hey, Liam, how about Diamond Heights? And he was like, okay. Favorite band? That's a hard one. I'd say my musical taste changes seasonally. I don't know. It's hard to explain. So right now, at this very moment, my favorite band is Pearl Jam. Pearl Jam hard is insane.
So yeah, same with Evan. Kind of changes, but the one that never changes, the Beatles. Yeah, they're a huge inspiration to me.
I'd probably have to say Suburban Legends, first big concert I went to, put on a show, and it inspired me.
One band that I really like is Def Leppard.
We don't really have our own sound yet, unfortunately, but that will change. For you see, our album will come out eventually. And once we start working in the studio, once we begin writing our own original stuff, we will find our voice.
So about January 2012, Shiloh, every practice would come with what we called an obsession with wanting to be exactly like the Beatles, and not everyone agreed with this, and almost every song he would suggest would be about the Beatles, and we did not want to play all these songs. Okay, but yeah, so we did have a moment where we replaced Shallow and we had a new bass player, but we came back around and Shallow came around and started suggesting better songs, and yeah, so now he's back in. Oh, the ladies man the band.
It's hands down this guy right here. Daniel Pittman was good.
Nothing. Everything. I don't know.
He gets all the you can censor me, right? So back in 2012, you know, I didn't have any friends. I wasn't doing anything with my life, and I'm like, hey, no one is in a band anymore. Being in a band isn't cool or interesting anymore. And being the hipster that I was, I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a band. So, I don't know. One time during lunch, I walked up to my friends, Liam and Shiloh, and I was like, hey, you guys want to start a band? They were like, okay.
Well, Riley, it's our favorite time of the day. Time for announcements.
Favorite thing in the whole world, Nick?
I definitely have to go with Kai's dad.
What's so special about him?
Let's just say he gets to hang out with people who score a lot. Blazers. He hangs out with the Blazers.
So Tim, when did you first open 503 Motoring?
I opened 503 Motoring in August of 2001 after a couple years of building cars behind the scenes for customers.
So why did you open 503 Motoring in the first place?
I opened 503 Motoring because I couldn't find a shop in the local area that could take care of me the way that I envisioned taking care of my customers. I was in auto body, and I had customers that I was taking care of behind the scenes, building their cars, and getting my own personal work done seemed to be a bit difficult. So I thought, I'm going to give it a shot.
So at 503 Motoring, what services do you guys provide?
Predominantly, we are an aesthetically based company. We don't do a whole lot of performance stuff, so we'll do window tinting, paint protection film as main staple services, wheels, tires, body kits, suspension, interiors, things like that.
Why do you think your clients come back after they've already become a customer?
Our level of service, it's different. We don't look at customers, as a dollar sign. Each one of our customers, we get to know them. It helps us in the process of building their vehicle for them. And along the way, you just become friends. And I think a lot of people appreciate that level of service and that attention to detail.
As an entrepreneur, what struggles do you have in your market?
That's tough. I'd say first and foremost, being in Portland and doing what we do on the level that we do it is extremely difficult. There's a large segment of people here who have the means to afford our services, but it's not commonplace in Portland. We're definitely not Los Angeles or Miami for sure.
So when the economy dropped back in '08, how did you guys keep your doors open?
It was difficult. We are a luxury. We're not a necessity by any means. People don't need to have custom wheels. They don't need to have their windows tinted. Fortunately, with the customer base that we had created, we definitely saw a decline in business, but we were able to keep steady. We had to get creative. We had to tighten the belt, get lean and mean, as they say, and a lot of counseling and mentoring got us through.
So with your guys' level of expertise, you guys have been able to do many cars for notable sports players.
We have. We've been very fortunate to work with some incredible people. Our number one client, Martell Webster, he's been coming in here for years. We built many cars for him and his family. We've been very fortunate to work with a number of the Blazers and a few other notable characters as well.
So how has social media made 503 so well known?
We're a visual company. Everything that we do is it's eye candy. It's hard to it's hard to be on the radio and advertise our services. Television, it's not really our commonplace. So social media is a way that we can directly connect with our clients. We have a younger demographic as well because of what we do. And between Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, people can see what we create, which creates followers. They want to see more.
Though your business hours are only 8:30 to 5:30, how many hours are you guys there overtime?
24 hours a day. You're always on. As an entrepreneur, first and foremost, you're always on. I mean, you don't have hours. You work. You always work. My guys, I push them pretty hard. We are open 8:30 to 5:30, but if something comes up in the middle of the night and we need to talk about the project for the next day, my guys are there. We're ready to go.
So as an entrepreneur, what benefits do you have that a 9-to-5 worker does not?
Lots. I mean, I have full, control over what we do. What I get out of it is what I put into it. If I don't go to work that day, I don't make any money. And it's not necessarily about money all the time. Obviously, people get into being an entrepreneur to make money, but majority of the time, entrepreneurs you'll find are very passionate people, and that's why they do what they do. They have a certain skill set, and they're able to express that.
So what is the work environment like at 503 Motoring?
Oh, it's crap. Totally sucks. It's balls to the walls all the time. There is no consistency in our industry. You're constantly thrown. There's wrenches being thrown all the time. And I don't mean that physically, like at other people. It's just when you're building cars and doing things, you guys watch this stuff on television, and it never goes like that. It's never that easy. You get misboxed parts, you get pieces that don't fit right, you get vendors, paint guys, interior guys you have to work with. Their timelines are never what yours are. So it's not easy, but that's also part of the fun of the job, is that every day is something new. It's a new challenge that it's a new puzzle you got to figure out every day.
So as the owner of 503 Motoring, what job do you like to do best?
I guess it kind of depends on what day it is. I love being out in the shop, getting my hands dirty, working on things, creating things. You know, the process of getting to know the customer is incredible. The process of securing the customer is incredible. I'd say the most rewarding part is when you're done, when you're through all this process, you're through all the headaches of building the car, putting the project together, whatever the scope of work is. When the customer comes in, no matter how much you've talked to them about it, no matter how involved they've been, they have never really seen the project the way you've seen the project. And for them to come in and physically see what's been created and the expression and the thanks and just sometimes the awe of what you've built together is absolutely the most rewarding part of what we do here.
So as a business owner, how hard was it to come up with a name for your company?
For us, it wasn't that hard, obviously. We actually were going by a different name originally, but we didn't do all of our research, and so the name actually was already being used by a different entity on a national scale that had nothing to do with our industry, but still was not something that we could use, and so we had to make a change. And you know, at the time, the motoring Q was being used quite excessively. And so we just we jumped on that bandwagon and used it, and it's been fantastic because it's quite recognizable at this point.
Well, Tim, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule so that we can get an insight on what you and your company do.
I appreciate it, Kai. Thank you.
Well, Nick, I'd say that just about wraps it up for today.
Sounds good, Riley. We'll see you next time right here on BTV.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you go. Never gonna run around and desert you.